Hey everyone, welcome to Ball Street. It's the countdown to deadline day, which is going to be the greatest party in deadline day history. It's taking place next Wednesday, the 31st, as you should know, of course, by now, because obviously deadline day is massive in everyone's lives. If it's not, my God, this year it will be. Anyway, we're here from Theredmentv to take over the show for today because James is just lazy.
Basically, that's exactly what it is.
Basically lazy.
Useless and lazy.
Useless, lazy, but he's so cute. Look at him. Anyway, we're going to do some of the general transfer news and then we're going to move on to your Liverpool-related transfer questions, so stay tuned for that if you want to. If not, unlucky, that's what this show is. Go and watch yesterday's instead. So, Chris...
Stick with us until then, though.
Absolutely, but, you know, you can't change people's minds. If they're dead set on it, you know...
We've just lost them all now.
So be it.
They've all gone.
They were all gone anyway. Chris, do you want to do the first news?
Not really. It's a standoff. It's a true standoff. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll do it then if I have to do it. Like, I mean, where's James? That's all I'm asking. So Napoli have failed in a bid for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
They've got £76 million burning a hole in their arse pocket. I think they were going for a Cardi, weren't they, from Inter Milan?
Yeah.
And that one's been sort of poo-pooed. And then now they've turned their attention to Harry Kane, and Tottenham have come out with a flat-out no. That's not happening.
Not happening in a million years.
Why would he go to Napoli?
I don't know. Maybe he's a big fan.
Maybe he's one of their
of
own.
Naples.
Maybe he's one of their own.
Maybe he likes ice cream. Maybe he likes Neapolitan ice cream.
It's gelato.
Yeah. Do they not have ice cream at all?
Do you have gelato?
No, they have gelato, but do they not
Not
have
in
ice cream?
Naples, no, not at all.
No, not at all. I know ultimately there'd be no way for us to find out the answer to that.
Never.
So,
Possibly no.
Yeah, I mean, look, fair play to Napoli, because if you've gone from having Gonzalo Higuain and you've got a guy of that calibre scoring goals for you, and then you sell that player on, you've got that money, you've got to have the ambition to say, well, we'll go out and get someone else. You look around world football, and I think Harry Kane would be a reasonable analogue for a Higuain, but as you say, Spurs who are going to be challenging for the Premier League title this
And
season.
are also in the Champions League as well.
In the Champions League. He's playing for his hometown club. It is a club from his hometown. But yeah, you know, Harry Kane would not be interested in that move.
No. I love the idea of Napoli have basically been bullied by Juventus for selling Higuain, and then they go, well, who can we bully? Tottenham. And they have a go, and it's like Tottenham are like, nah, lad. And they just hold them. And they just hold the head, and they're like, it's really not happening, mate. No. We're not selling Harry Kane to you.
Absolutely not. Next summer, who knows? But yeah, no, that's. I mean, if it's true, it's true in terms of placing the bid. But in terms of the reality of that happening, Tottenham have turned them down, and I would expect that to go no further.
It'd be great if they managed to bully Leicester into selling them Vardy when Arsenal didn't.
Yeah, I just don't see that there's anyone who in the Premier League who is in a position to be bullied by just a team like Napoli. I think there's a difference when it's Real Madrid come knocking or Barcelona come knocking, or maybe, you know, at a stretch like a Juve. Or, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
a club
Juve,
with, maybe, you know, maybe a Juve, or maybe a Bayern Munich, that kind of thing. But by and large, you know, like Napoli.
I don't know how big into gelato Premier League footballers are, Paul.
No,
so.
I know, and the thing is, again, there's no way for us to know, so let's move on. Interesting one, let's get to some Arsenal news then, Chris. Lucas Perez. Arsenal are ready to beat Everton to the signature of Deportivo La Coruña's 16 million rated striker Lucas Perez, according to El Confidencial. Not very confidential.
Not very confidential.
If it's public information like that. But Phil McNulty's chief football writer at BBC says Everton identified a 27-year-old who scored 17 goals in the league last season to provide support for Romelu Lukaku. They were closing in a deal, but now Arsenal have declared a late interest. Everton are still hopeful of a deal, but reports in Spain suggest Arsenal are strong favourites to sign the players. Now, there's a bullying situation, is that, you know, Arsenal aren't great at that, let's be fair, even though they try. But, you know, if you, as a question to you, you know, you're a striker, you've got the option of being, you know, basically, you know, a foil for or backup for Lukaku, or maybe the main man at Arsenal.
Look, I think that's right. I think Perez is probably looking around right now and going, yeah, I can probably beat Giroud. I back myself to beat Giroud to a place, whereas Lukaku's one of those, like, he's a top-level striker now, and I think Lukaku's a much better striker than Giroud. I think probably a lot of people around world football would agree with me on that, and Perez would be like, yeah, I can go to the bigger club, the one who are doing better the last 10, 15, 20 years than Everton, and I can probably get nailed down a first team place if I apply myself.
Yeah.
So I think Perez would rather Arsenal. It's just whether £16 million is too much for Arsenal to spend on a striker.
They probably only go as high as 14.
And £1.
Yeah, you know what? They might well do. I mean, listen, I don't want to say
you know what?
one way or the
Actually,
other. It'd be too easy to wind Arsenal fans up in this instance, so I'm not going to.
I've probably jumped the gun a little bit there. Looking at Everton with what Koeman's doing now and what the money that they've got, I've probably been a little bit disrespectful. If he's the type of guy who wants to buy into a challenge, then Everton could be a really good move for him, because ultimately right now, I've got to say, I think Everton are on an upward curve and Arsenal potentially are on a downward curve.
I don't know about the downward thing, but yeah, but I think let's put it this way. Would you be surprised if he chose Everton over Arsenal?
I'd still be a touch surprised.
Would you really? Because I would be of the thinking that Arsenal have got a track record of not being able to convince players, whereas you look at Koeman, like, someone like Koeman coming in, he carries a lot of gravitas with him as well. As you say, money talks. I suspect that Everton are in a position to be a bit more like, no, listen, we absolutely...
We'll give you 50 grand more a week.
Yeah, that, but also I think they'd be more inclined to be just like, no, look, you would be very important to us. I think Everton would be better at spelling out the importance of a guy, whereas I think Arsenal, I don't know whether there's a complacency that comes with it, of having had the manager there for so long, or the aura that comes around the club. I don't know. I think Everton would fight for that transfer. I think Arsenal would go, if you're not interested, or you don't want to succumb to our charms, then kind of whatever. Next,
Nzonzi to Leicester. You know, we saw him up close and personal last season, didn't we? Playing for Sevilla. Leicester are apparently ready to bid £25 million, and it's the sort of heir to Kante's throne in this instance, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it could be a very good signing for them.
He was at Blackburn, wasn't he?
Stoke.
When he was in the Premier League originally, I wouldn't have shrugged my shoulders and wouldn't have thought much. But, you know, the fact is he's gone away, gone to Spain, he's been exceptional for Sevilla, and all of a sudden, if he'd not, I think, and I can't say I watched him, the fact that then I wasn't sure about who he played for, it tells you everything on that. But if he hadn't been in the Premier League and you were just buying him straight from Spain, I think you'd be like, wow, 25 million for him, that's great. There might be one or two people going a bit put off by the name or what have you, but I think he, particularly with, you know, the setup that Leicester have got and Ranieri and what have you, I'd back him to be a very, very good signing.
Yeah, I think I definitely would. And I think, you know, when Stoke sold Nzonzi, I don't think they wanted to sell him, to be honest with you. I think, you know, Sevilla came calling and he went. He's only increased his reputation in world football now, and going back to what is the English champions at the end of the day, it could be a really great move and a really one that could really set Leicester apart, because they need to replace Kante big time, because he was such a big part of everything that they did last season.
86 games for Blackburn Rovers.
Did he?
I knew it was up there somewhere, and then he signed for Stoke. Yes, Paul. I don't trust myself to have the courage of my convictions, but the information is definitely still up there. Yeah, you're right. I think that's it. How do you replace Kante? You don't. But you can't go wrong with getting a guy who's played at a really good level. And I know, look, Sevilla have got Champions League experience, slightly more Europa League experience, because they are the Europa League, as we well know. But yeah, I think that'll be a really good signing for Leicester, and we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, these kind of threads are going to continue all the way up to deadline day. Is there going to be some deadline day drama? Only one way to find out. Join us on deadline day. Anyway, shall we have a piece of completed transfer news?
Go ahead, mate.
Jasper Cillessen has completed his transfer to Barcelona. And
really?
No, stop the press.
Oh my days.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my days, mate.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we need to just have a little sit down, have a little think about this, a bit of contemplation about what that means for world football.
Who is he? Where's he from?
Well, he's Dutch. He's come from Ajax. He's a Dutch international as well. Yeah, goalkeeper. 30 caps apparently he's got for the Dutch national side. 27 years old.
All right, okay. Was he the keeper that got subbed for the Cruel?
That's a terrific question, and as we found a couple of times already, there's literally no way for us to know.
Yeah, we could find out whether Nzonzi played for Blackburn.
Absolutely no way to know. No way to know. Yeah, but it's an interesting one, because I think obviously we've seen, and as was lined up already, Claudio Bravo going to Manchester City. That makes all those transfers now kind of fits in the merry-go-round thing.
The goalkeeper merry-go-round go has been pressed and we're on.
Absolutely. So he moves over there. Cillessen comes into Barcelona. Another question is,
Hart
of course,
comes to Liverpool.
Hart potentially comes to Liverpool.
The City. He's going to
comes within the city of Liverpool,
could go to somewhere on Merseyside.
Potentially. But a big question, actually, I guess, and I'd be interested to know people's thoughts on this, whether he goes in as the La Liga goalkeeper or the Champions League goalkeeper, because Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, we know, was the Champions League goalkeeper last season. You'd expect if he stayed, it would have been under the proviso that he becomes the main guy there. You know, that's two good goalkeepers to have.
It is, and I wonder whether they're going to go back to just having the goalkeeper again and a backup, because it's such a strange situation. There's only a couple of teams in world football that have really rotated these goalkeepers. What is more of the priority for Barcelona, do you think? Because there's an argument to be had that, you know, Ter Stegen was the number one keeper because he was the Champions League, and that's a bigger competition, and Barcelona will want to catch up with Real Madrid. They're big time, and I think, I don't know what who the number one keeper was last season, whether it was Ter Stegen or Bravo. Yeah,
it's an interesting thought on that. My suspicion, actually, you know what? Yeah, again, no way to know.
No way to know.
Well, who would you consider to be the first choice goalkeeper in that? And bear in mind that, who would you therefore, as I say, make who becomes your La Liga goalkeeper, who becomes your Champions League goalkeeper? And because we're on the subject, thoughts on the Claudio Bravo transfer to Man City as well. Is he that much of an upgrade on the likes of Joe Hart and, well, obviously Willy Caballero, he is. But you know, how much in those regards? It's time to get through to the Liverpool segment of this. So look, if you're not a Liverpool fan, stick with it. We're entertaining people. I think we've demonstrated that so far. So just literally do nothing. Carry on as you were. Okay, sweet. So yeah, we asked for questions via the Ball Street account. You're right. Your stream has not frozen. So we go for. Should we work our way through?
Go ahead, I'll start then. Okay. If you could buy any of the presenters from any of the fan channels, who would you pick and how much would you pay?
If you could buy any presenter from any of the fan channels, who would you pick? Oh, that's an interesting one. I would pick and I would buy Ped. You know why?
Go ahead.
I'd just have him in stocks outside the studio, and I would pay just to throw stuff at him. He'd be good. I think he'd be good value for that.
Well then, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to take Sam Peoples. I'm just going to kick his head in.
Okay, sounds it's taking a dark turn out of nowhere, but there you go. Who do you think we should buy? Let us know in the comments below.
If you could have Mank, you know what I mean, Paul? You know who you are.
He knows. If you're watching, if anyone of any of the fan channels from all around the world you'd like to see us buy in for whatever, for what purpose, let us know that in the comments below. JJ Lewandowski, how much say do you think Klopp had in transfers this season?
All of the say.
I
think he starts the conversation, he ends the conversation. Yeah. He tells them what he wants, they come back with a list of players and he goes, no, yes. Yeah. And it's that simple.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that's exactly what it boils down to. I think we often look for conspiracy theories and things, but I think Jürgen cleared that up the day he walked into the club and he said exactly that, and I don't think that even if he doesn't have 100% say for whatever reason, he has 100% say in it being that way. If you get what I mean, he's all in. He's all in on the system that Liverpool have in place for the scouting, the approaching, and the ultimate signing of players. So yeah, that's what I would say to that.
Why is Henderson Liverpool captain when he's a juggling mess of a stain?
Right,
Jordan Henderson was at Sean Seven Whiteley.
Yeah, I think Jordan Henderson is captain because I think he was made captain on merit at the time. You know, Steven Gerrard's career was winding down. You had Jordan Henderson there who, you know, if you watch Jordan Henderson, and again, I don't know how many people, I don't know whether Funnies Murray actually goes to games or whatever, but when you see Jordan Henderson, he's there on pitch, he's an organiser, he barks instructions, he enacts the plan on pitch by telling people where they need to be and what have you. And also, you know, the work rate that he puts in when he's at the peak of his powers is great. He's got a good range of he was just a sound midfielder. He was a good choice. I don't think he was like he wasn't the choice when when Gerrard was made captain, because he's not at that level of player, to be perfectly honest. But the question then follows, and it was something we touched upon on the live stream that we did earlier, which is you can still check out on the Ball Street Facebook page, is he's still captain because Klopp's happy for him to still be captain at the end of the day, and I think that's what it boils down to. If Jurgen Klopp wasn't happy for him to be captain, he wouldn't be. And if ultimately come the end of the season or whatever, if he's not happy for him, we've got someone better for it, we might see them take over captaincy. But right now, Jordan Henderson's captain because the previous manager thought he was good enough for it, and right now, Jurgen Klopp thinks he's good enough for it.
And for me, I don't think he is a juggling mess of a stain. No. I think he's a good footballer. I think he's been played out of position. And I think, at the time when he was made captain, I don't think there was a standout other than Jordan Henderson. And even right now, I look at Liverpool's squad and go, there's no standout there.
People say Emre Can, maybe another year. I would entertain that kind of stuff, but not just yet. He's still a bit raw. And then past that, Lovren, again, another year from Lovren, I would entertain that, but not before then. And then past that, again, like Lallana has been a captain before, he has some of the qualities, but I wouldn't say, oh my God, throw the captaincy at Lallana.
So it's not just why. Who else would you want? Let us know in the comment section below. Who would you want as Liverpool's captain? Who's in the squad? And why do you think they're going to do a better job than Jordan Henderson?
Yeah, I think the Henderson criticism is a bit trendy. I think it's a bit cool, and I'm not down with cool stuff. I think it's like, you follow a trend, and it becomes, these things happen with football clubs, it becomes kind of funny to say, let's have a laugh at this, whereas it just shows a lack of football and knowledge as far as I'm concerned. Not that I think Henderson's a tremendous footballer, but I think he's better than than the criticism he's receiving at the moment. Okay, so next question comes from Nathan at Nathan LFC 100. If we loan out Sacco, should we sign another centre-back? If so, who?
No, I don't think we do. I don't think we need to. I think we could, if we loan him out, we're not getting any money in anyway. I think if we need to spend money on someone in the back line, it's a left back for me. I think with having Lovren, Matip, Klavan and Gomez, we've got sufficient cover there to last us till the end of his loan.
Yeah, great. My only thing on that is that we've been linked with Bruno Martins Indy, and I think because he can play left back as well, I think that's a circumstance that they're talking around £4 to £5 million. If you can get a guy who can also cover our left back issue and maybe even cover DM if we need to, then that's the situation. Yeah, I don't think we need another straight centre half in that.
Okay, at Finn Tan Harty, do you think Liverpool still need to bring players in? If so, what positions and what players would you like to see?
Again, we touched upon this on the live stream earlier. I would like to see us, just because I'm a fantasist, I'd like to see us go out and smash out an amazing transfer in the last days. If James Rodriguez is moving, fuck it, just go for it. Just go and spend all the money, bring Rodriguez in and worry about it. Forget left back. Who cares about left back? You have James Rodriguez in your team. It'd be amazing. It's like having a Ferrari and no petrol. But my God, when I go and sit in my Ferrari, I'm going to feel dead cool. Maybe take the handbrake off, roll it down the hill. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, something like that. People go on about the fullbacks and stuff. Ultimately, don't care. If we get a fullback in, great. I'd rather see us go out and buy someone that makes me go like that. What about you?
I think we need someone who's going to add goals at the top end of the pitch. I'm still unsure whether Sturridge and Origi and Ings is going to be enough with Firmino this season to get us probably 30 plus goals between them. Other than that, I'd go straight in at left back, and we mentioned it again. We mentioned it on the live stream, but I do think that spend all the money on a left back and get a fucking top. Get someone who's as good as Nathaniel Klein is on the right, and if that costs you 20-25 million and you're sorted there for 5 or 6 years, fucking bonus. Yeah, job done. Spot on. Forget about it.
Brett Connolly, Bretasaurus 89. Would you bring Joe Hart in and sack Mignolet off, keeping Karius as backup? I personally wouldn't mind seeing Joe Hart, but I'd be interested to know. A lot of this depends on how good Karius is.
Yeah, and I don't know. Honest answer, I've not seen enough of Karius to tell you if he's better than Joe Hart or not. I like the idea of sacking Mignolet off for Joe Hart. Whether that's Joe Hart as a backup or not, I'm not too sure. I think if Joe Hart comes into the club, he's going to want to be number one. Yeah. He wouldn't leave Manchester City without the assurances from being number one at Liverpool Football Club. As such, I can't see the deal happening. But if Klopp thinks Joe Hart is a better option, and that wasn't an option that we had when we signed Karius, and Klopp wants him, go for him.
I think you look at it, and again, I think it improves Liverpool's squad. if you swap Hart in for Mignolet out, we're a better squad. So I think from that pure perspective, not thinking about egos and how you manage game time.
Maybe we make Hart our Champions League keeper.
Yeah. CG_Champ Gaming, the last one, Chris. How do you rate our chances this season if we had a left back and a DM? As I believe Moreno is wank and Hendo isn't a DM.
If we had one.
Senseless need of throwing Henderson in there. But
I know, it's true. But I think we've got a DM in Chan. I think we need maybe a specialist for 5 games a season. I'm not sure we're going to actually do that.
Lucas and Stewart
sounds. I think, to be honest, I'm going to amend the question slightly. If we had a fucking shit hot left back, I think we're second all the way. I think Liverpool can finish second anyway.
Yeah, I think it's ultimate. I think we'll have a good season regardless. But we might be fortunate. We need to rely on a little bit of luck in terms of injuries. If we do add an amazing left back, an amazing centre midfielder, well, we would be better. But are we going to go out and spend £50 million or 60 or 70 million pounds that you might need to go and get players of the calibre to come in and absolutely nail down those places? I just think that's too much business for one window.
Maybe it is.
Well, thanks very much. We're going to wrap that up there. Go and check out the Facebook live stream area for more of these transfer-related questions. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel and get ready for deadline day. We're on the countdown now. The 31st of August, we're going to be doing a 9-hour
Yep.
live stream, hosted by myself and a whole host of faces from across the fan channels and the Ball Street universe as well. If you watch the ones in the past, you'll know what we're talking about. If you haven't, go and check out little bits and pieces of clips. It's incredible. It's the best thing going on YouTube in the world, and it's coming to you on Wednesday next week. Get subscribed and get it first.